Before this story begins, let me ask you something. Have you ever looked back at one decision and wondered how your life might have changed if you chose differently? Tonight's story is about love, sacrifice, and a moment that seemed small at the time, but changed everything forever. I want you to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and comment where you are listening from. Stay till the end because you will enjoy every bit of this story.
The smell hit Elena first. Expensive cigars, leather, old money. Cole Bennett's study smelled nothing like the Silver Moon Saloon where Elena had worked for 3 years, where she'd poured whiskey and smiled at drunk cowboys and let them think whatever they wanted about her, where she'd saved every dollar in a tin box under her bed. That tin box was empty now. "Sit down, Miss Morales." Cole didn't look at her when he spoke. He stood at the window, shoulders broad under his black coat, staring out at his ranch. 3,000 acres of Wyoming grassland, cattle dotting the hills like dark stones, a mansion that made the whole town of Silver Creek look small. Elena sat. The chair was velvet. Her worn cotton dress felt thin against it. She'd walked 2 miles in the August heat to get here. Dust coated her boots, sweat dampened her collar, but she kept her spine straight. She'd survived worse than a rich man's judgment. "I'll be direct," Cole said, still not looking at her. "My grandfather died last month, left me everything. The ranch, the cattle, the investments, all of it." Elena waited. Rich men love to talk about their money. "There's a condition," Cole continued. "I must be married within 60 days of his death, or the entire estate goes to my cousin in San Francisco." He turned then. Elena's breath caught. She'd seen Cole Bennett from a distance. Everyone in Silver Creek had. The tall rancher who rode through town once a month, bought supplies, never spoke to anyone he didn't have to. Dark hair, dark eyes, a jaw that looked carved from stone. Up close he was harder, colder. 37 days left, Cole said. "I need a wife." Elena's heart hammered. She licked her dry lips. Before we continue, if you are new on this channel, please click on the like and subscribe button. Comment where you are watching this story from. God bless you richly. Let's continue. "Why me?" she asked. Cole's mouth twisted. Not quite a smile. "Because no respectable woman in this territory will have me. Because you need money and I need a warm body at the altar. Because this is business. Miss Morales, not romance." The words should have stung. They didn't. Elena had heard worse every night at the saloon. "What's the offer?" she asked. 1 year of marriage, you live here. Play the dutiful wife when necessary. Don't embarrass me. After 12 months, we divorce quietly. You get $20,000. Cash. Enough to go anywhere and start over. $20,000. Elena's hands trembled. She clasped them in her lap. That was more money than she'd see in 10 lifetimes. More than enough to disappear, to become someone new, to finally stop running. "Why would you divorce me?" she asked. "Won't that look bad? In a year, the inheritance is locked. My cousin can't touch it. After that, I don't care what people think." Cole crossed his arms. "I want my freedom back. You want money. Simple exchange." Nothing was ever simple. Elena had learned that the hard way. "What if I say no?" she asked. "Then I find someone else by tomorrow." Cole checked his pocket watch. Silver, expensive, engraved with initials. "You have 10 minutes to decide." Elena's mind raced. She'd come to Silver Creek 3 years ago with nothing. A new name, a new story. Running from a murder she didn't commit and a man who tried to frame her for it. She'd survived by being invisible. By working at the saloon where no one asked questions, by keeping her head down and her mouth shut. But 3 days ago, everything changed. A letter had arrived, forwarded through 3 cities under 3 different names until it finally found her. "Catherine Hartwell, we know where you are. Come back to Boston and face justice, or we'll come get you." The signature was a lawyer's scrawl. The threat was clear. Someone had found her. $20,000 could get her to California. Maybe even Mexico, somewhere truly far away. But living in Cole Bennett's mansion for a year meant being visible, being noticed, being investigated. What happens during the marriage? Elena asked. What exactly would I have to do? Attend social functions when required, smile, nod, pretend we're a real couple. Cole's voice was flat, bored. We'll maintain separate bedrooms. I don't expect intimacy. This is a contract, not a relationship. Elena almost laughed. She'd spent 3 years having men assume they could buy intimacy with $1 and a wink. Now the richest man in the county was promising to keep his distance. The town hates me, Elena said. The church ladies cross the street when they see me. Half the men think I'm... She stopped. No point saying it out loud. I don't care what the town thinks, Cole said. I care about the inheritance. You're presentable enough. You can read and write. That's more than I need. Presentable enough. Elena's jaw tightened. She wanted to walk out. To tell Cole Bennett where he could shove his contract and his cold mansion and his $20,000. But she couldn't. Because 37 days from now, if Elena was still pouring whiskey at the Silver Moon Saloon, someone from Boston might walk through those swinging doors. And then all her running would end. I want half the money up front, Elena said. Cole raised an eyebrow. Excuse me, 10,000 now, 10,000 when the year ends. Elena lifted her chin. Insurance, in case you decide to back out of the deal. I'm not the one who might run, Cole said coldly. Neither am I, Elena lied. She was so good at lying now. 3 years of practice. But I'm not an idiot, Mr. Bennett. You have lawyers, you have power. I have nothing. I want protection. Cole stared at her. His dark eyes were unreadable. The grandfather clock in the corner ticked. Loud, steady. Elena's pulse matched its rhythm. Say no, she thought. Please say no. Give me an excuse to run right now. Fine, Cole said. 10,000 up front, cash, the day we marry. Elena's stomach dropped. We marry in 3 days, Cole continued. I've already arranged it with the judge. Quiet ceremony, no fuss. You move in here immediately after. 3 days. I need to think, no time for thinking, Miss Morales. Yes or no, right now. The clock ticked. Outside, a horse whinnied. Cattle lowed in the distance. The August wind rattled the window. Elena thought of the letter, the threat, the noose tightening. She thought of $20,000. A new life, real freedom. She thought of her mother's silver hairpin, the only thing she'd kept from her old life. The cheap bird-shaped pin she wore even in the saloon. Her mother had called it her flying pin when Elena was small. Wear this when you need to remember you can always fly away. But you couldn't fly without money. Yes, Elena said. The word felt like stepping off a cliff. Cole nodded once. Good. My housekeeper will prepare your room. Bring whatever you own. Not much, I assume. The insult was casual. Practiced. Elena stood. I'll be here in 3 days, Mr. Bennett. Cole, he said. If we're going to be married, use my name. Cole, Eleanor repeated. The name tasted strange. Too familiar. She turned to leave. Miss Morales. Elena stopped, looked back. Cole's expression hadn't changed. Still cold, still distant. Don't make me regret this, he said. Elena almost told him the truth then. Almost confessed everything. The real name, the murder charge, the lawyer hunting her. But survival meant silence. I won't, she said. Another lie. She left the study, walked down the long hallway, past paintings of dead Bennett ancestors who stared at her with disapproving eyes. Outside, the sun beat down. The 2-mile walk back to town stretched ahead. Elena's feet hurt. Her dress stuck to her back. But she'd done it. She'd bought herself time, money, a chance. She just had to survive 1 year in Cole Bennett's mansion without anyone discovering who she really was. How hard could it be? The answer came 2 days later. Elena was packing her few belongings, 3 dresses, a hairbrush, her mother's silver pin when someone knocked on her rented room above the saloon. She opened the door. A man stood there. Expensive suit, thin mustache, Cold smile. Elena's blood turned to ice. She knew that face. It was the lawyer from Boston. The one who tried to frame her for murder 3 years ago. The one who'd signed the threatening letter. "Hello, Catherine," he said softly. "Or should I call you Elena? I understand you're marrying Cole Bennett in 2 days. Congratulations." His smile widened. "I'm his new business attorney. Isn't that convenient? We'll be working together closely." Elena couldn't breathe, couldn't move. The lawyer stepped closer. "Did you really think you could hide forever?" he whispered. "I've been looking for you for 3 years, and now you've walked right into my hands." He tipped his hat. "See you at the wedding, Catherine." He walked away whistling. Elena stood frozen in the doorway. The trap had closed, and she'd locked herself inside. Elena didn't sleep. She sat on the edge of her narrow bed above the saloon, staring at her mother's silver hairpin in her palm. The tiny bird caught the moonlight through her window. Her mother had worn this pin every day, even when they had nothing. Even when Elena's father drank away their money and her mother scrubbed floors to buy bread. You can always fly away, my amor. Always. But flying required open sky. Elena was trapped now. The lawyer, his name was Richard Voss, she remembered now, knew everything. He knew her real name. He knew about the murder charge. He knew she was marrying Cole. And he was Cole's new attorney. The coincidence was too perfect. Voss had planned this. Somehow he'd known she was here. Somehow he'd positioned himself exactly where he could destroy her. But why wait? Why not expose her immediately? Elena's hands shook. She closed them around the hairpin until the metal bit into her palm. Think like you did in Boston. Like you did when you ran. Voss wanted something. Men like him always did. He hadn't come to Silver Creek just for revenge. He'd come because Elena had value now. She was marrying one of the richest men in Wyoming. That was leverage. A knock on the door made Elena jump. She shoved the hairpin into her pocket, stood. "Who is it?" "Mrs. Chen, from the laundry." Elena frowned. Mrs. Chen had never visited her before. The small Chinese woman ran the only laundry in Silver Creek, worked 18 hours a day, spoke to almost no one. They'd exchanged maybe 10 words in 3 years. Elena opened the door. Mrs. Chen stood there with a bundle of white fabric. Her face was lined and weathered, her gray hair pulled tight, but her eyes were sharp. "Your wedding dress," Mrs. Chen said. "Mr. Bennett paid me to make it. I bring it early so you can check the fit." Elena blinked. "He didn't tell me. He doesn't tell anyone anything." Mrs. Chen pushed past Elena into the small room, set the bundle on the bed. "That man has a stone for a heart." She unwrapped the dress. It was beautiful. Simple white cotton, but clean and new and carefully sewn. Lace at the collar, pearl buttons down the back. Elena touched the fabric. It was soft, expensive, nothing like the worn, patched dresses she owned. "Try it on," Mrs. Chen said. "I need to see if the waist needs taking in." Elena hesitated. She didn't want to put on a wedding dress, didn't want this to feel real. But Mrs. Chen was already unbuttoning the back, waiting. Elena changed. The dress fit perfectly. The waist hugged her curves. The sleeves brushed her wrists. The hem fell just to her ankles. Mrs. Chen circled her, examining every seam. "Good. You have a nice figure. The church ladies will hate you even more." Elena almost smiled. "They already hate me. They hate me too." Mrs. Chen tugged at a sleeve. "Because I'm Chinese. Because I work too hard. Because I don't go to their church or drink their tea or pretend to care about their gossip." She met Elena's eyes in the cracked mirror on the wall. "They hate anyone who doesn't fit their small, small world," Mrs. Chen said quietly. "But hate doesn't kill you. I'm still here. You'll be here too." Something in her voice made Elena pause. "How long have you been in Silver Creek?" Elena asked. 8 years. My husband brought me here to work on the railroad. He died in a tunnel collapse. I stayed." Mrs. Chen's hands moved quickly, adjusting the dress. "Everyone said I should leave, go back to San Francisco, go back to China, but I stayed." "Why?" Mrs. Chen smiled, sad and knowing. Because running gets tiring. Eventually you have to stand somewhere. The words hit Elena like a fist. She thought of the last 3 years. Boston to Philadelphia, Philadelphia to St. Louis, St. Louis to Silver Creek. Always moving, always hiding, always tired. I saw that lawyer visit you, Mrs. Chen said softly. Mr. Voss, he has cruel eyes. Elena's chest tightened. You saw him? I see everything. My laundry is across the street. Mrs. Chen unbuttoned the dress. He came to my shop yesterday, asked questions about you, how long you've been here, who your friends are, if you get letters. Elena's hands went cold. What did you tell him? Nothing. I don't talk to men with cruel eyes. Mrs. Chen helped Elena out of the dress, started wrapping it again. But he'll keep asking. He wants something from you. I know. Mrs. Chen studied her. Are you in trouble? Yes, Elena wanted to say. I'm in so much trouble I can't breathe. But trusting people got you killed. I can handle it, Elena said. No one can handle everything alone. Mrs. Chen handed her the wrapped dress. I live behind my laundry. If you need help, real help, you come to me. Not the sheriff, not the church, me. Elena stared at her. Why would you help me? Because 8 years ago, when my husband died, everyone in this town told me to leave, said I didn't belong, said I should go back where I came from. Mrs. Chen's jaw set. Only one person helped me, the old man who owned a saloon. He gave me credit when I had no money. Let me wash linens to pay my debt. Didn't ask questions. She moved to the door. Stopped. That old man is dead now, but I remember kindness, and I know what it looks like when someone is drowning. Mrs. Chen looked back. You're drowning, Miss Morales. When you're ready to grab a hand, mine is there. She left. Elena stood alone in her room, holding a wedding dress, trying not to cry. Drop a comment right now. Should Elena trust Mrs. Chen or stay silent? And don't forget to share this story with someone who loves a good twist. The wedding happened in the judge's chambers. No flowers, no music, no guests. Just Elena in her white dress, Cole in a black suit, the judge reading words from a book, and Richard Voss standing in the corner with a smile like a knife. Elena's hands shook when Cole slid the gold ring onto her finger. His hands were steady, cold. You may kiss the bride, the judge said. Cole leaned in. His lips brushed Elena's. Brief, meaningless, the kiss of a business transaction. Congratulations, Voss said from the corner. His voice was silk over steel. Such a lovely couple. Cole ignored him, signed the marriage certificate, handed the pen to Elena. She signed her fake name. Elena Morales. The lie was permanent now. Legal. The first payment, Cole said. Pulled an envelope from his jacket. $10,000, as agreed. Elena took it. The envelope was thick, heavy. Her ticket to freedom. If Voss didn't destroy her first. Shall we go home? Cole asked. Not warmth in his voice, just obligation. Home. The words sounded foreign. Elena nodded. They rode to the Bennett mansion in Cole's carriage. Voss rode separately, thank God. Elena watched the town disappear behind them, replaced by rolling grassland and distant cattle. The August heat was brutal. Sweat trickled down her spine under the wedding dress. You'll have the east wing, Cole said, not looking at her, looking out the window at his land. My room is in the west wing. We won't see each other unless necessary. What counts as necessary? Elena asked. Dinner parties, social events, appearances. Cole's jaw tightened. My aunt is hosting a party next week. You'll attend as my wife. Smile, be charming, don't mention the saloon. Of course not, Elena said. We wouldn't want anyone to remember I'm trash. Cole looked at her then, his dark eyes unreadable. I didn't say that. You didn't have to. The carriage hit a rut. Elena grabbed the seat to steady herself. I'm not a nice man, Elena, Cole said quietly. I don't pretend to be, but I keep my word. You'll get your money. You'll be treated with basic respect in my house. That's more than most women in your position could hope for. He was right. Elena hated that he was right. Why do you need the inheritance so badly, she asked. You already have all this. Cole's expression closed. That's not your concern. I'm your wife now. Aren't wives supposed to know things? Not in this marriage. The mansion appeared ahead. 3 stories of stone and wood, columns, balconies, windows that gleamed like gold in the sun. It looked like a prison. The carriage stopped. A housekeeper opened the door, a stern woman with gray hair and a mouth like a trap. "Mrs. Brennan," Cole said. "This is my wife, Elena. Show her to her rooms." Mrs. Brennan's eyes raked over Elena. Cold. Judging. "Yes, sir," she said. No warmth at all. Cole disappeared into the house without another word. Elena followed Mrs. Brennan up the stairs, down a hallway that smelled of polish and old wood, into a bedroom bigger than the entire saloon. A 4-poster bed, a wardrobe, a vanity with a real mirror, windows overlooking the ranch. "Your belongings arrived earlier," Mrs. Brennan said, pointed to Elena's small bag in the corner. It looked pathetic against the expensive furniture. "Dinner is at 7. Don't be late. Mr. Bennett hates lateness." She left. Elena sat on the bed. It was soft, too soft. She pulled the envelope from her pocket, opened it. $100 bills. Crisp. New. More money than she'd ever seen in her life. She could leave right now. Take this money and run. Disappear before Voss made his move. But where would she go? Voss would follow. He'd proven that. And Cole would send people after her for breaking the contract. She'd be hunted from both sides. She had to stay. Had to play this game until she figured out what Voss wanted. Had to survive. Elena hid the money in the bottom of the wardrobe under spare blankets. Then she changed out of the wedding dress into one of her old work dresses. She needed to explore, to understand this place, to find the exits and the weak points, to learn how to escape if everything went wrong. The mansion was a maze. Hallways twisted. Doors led to more doors. Rooms full of furniture covered in white sheets. A library with more books than Elena had ever seen. A dining room with a table that could seat 20. Everything was expensive. Perfect. Cold. Like coal. Elena found the kitchen. A cook was preparing dinner, an older woman with flour on her hands and a kind face. "You must be the new Mrs. Bennett," the cook said, smiled. "I'm Margaret. I've worked here since Cole was a boy." Finally, someone friendly. "Elena," she said. "It's nice to meet you. You hungry? Dinner's not for 2 hours, but I can make you a sandwich." Elena's stomach growled. She'd been too nervous to eat all day. Margaret made her a thick sandwich of roast beef and cheese, poured her cold milk. Elena ate like she was starving. "You're the first woman Cole's brought here in 10 years, Margaret said. "Needing dough." "Not since his fiancée left." Elena paused mid-bite. "His fiancée? Oh yes, beautiful girl, rich family from Denver. They were engaged for a year." Margaret's face saddened. Then she ran off 3 days before the wedding, married another man, left Cole standing at the altar. Elena's chest tightened. Why? "No one knows," she wouldn't say. "Just disappeared." Margaret shaped the dough into a loaf. Cole changed after that, got colder, meaner, stopped trusting people. His grandfather tried to fix him up with other women, but Cole refused. Said he'd never marry, but he did, Elena said softly. "He married me. For the inheritance. Everyone knows that." Margaret gave her a sympathetic look. "I'm sorry, dear, that's got to hurt." It didn't hurt. Elena had expected this to be fake. But knowing Cole had loved someone once enough to want to marry her made something twist in her chest. He wasn't always stone. He'd been soft once, and someone had broken him. "Does he ever talk about her?" Elena asked. "Never. Won't even let us say her name." Margaret lowered her voice. "But sometimes I hear him in the study late at night, going through papers, his grandfather's old letters. I think he's looking for something." "What?" "I don't know. But he won't let it go. Whatever she did, whatever secret she took with her, it haunts him." Footsteps in the hallway. Margaret went quiet, started humming, focused on her bread. Richard Voss walked into the kitchen. His smile was poison. Good afternoon, Mrs. Bennet. Enjoying your new home? Elena's hands clenched under the table. What do you want? Just checking in on my employer's lovely new bride. Voss leaned against the counter. Casual, threatening. Cole and I have much to discuss. Business matters, legal matters. I'll be here often. I'm sure you will, Elena said coldly. Voss's smile widened. We should talk, privately, about old times. I have nothing to say to you. Oh, I think you do. Voss glanced at Margaret, who was pretending not to listen. Let's take a walk. The gardens are beautiful this time of day. It wasn't a request. Elena stood, followed Voss outside. The gardens were perfect. Roses, fountains, trimmed hedges. Everything that didn't exist in the dusty streets of Silver Creek. Voss led her to a bench far from the house, sat, waited. Elena remained standing. What do you want? She demanded. Information, Voss said simply. About Cole. Elena's stomach dropped. I barely know him. But you will. You're his wife now. You'll learn his secrets, his business, his weaknesses. Voss crossed his legs. And you'll tell me everything. Why would I do that? Voss pulled a folded paper from his pocket, unfolded it. It was a wanted poster. Catherine Hartwell, wanted for murder, $500 reward. Below it, a sketch of Elena's face, younger, scared, but recognizable. One word from me, Voss said softly, and the sheriff will arrest you. You'll hang before Christmas. Elena couldn't breathe. The garden blurred. I didn't kill anyone, she whispered. I know. Voss's smile was cruel. I killed him, your employer, Mr. Hartwell, the man who conveniently died the same night you disappeared. I killed him and made it look like you did it. I'm quite good at framing people, Catherine. It's a useful skill. The world tilted. Why? Elena gasped. Because Hartwell knew too much about my business dealings. Because he was going to expose me. Because murder is easier than negotiation. Voss folded the poster, put it back in his pocket. But now you're going to make yourself useful. You're going to spy on Cole Bennett, learn what he's hiding, report back to me. And if I refuse, then I go to the sheriff. You hang. Cole's marriage is annulled. He loses the inheritance. Voss stood. So many people hurt, all because you chose pride over survival. He leaned close. His breath smelled like tobacco. You're good at surviving, Catherine. You've done it for 3 years. Don't stop now. He walked away, left Elena standing in the perfect garden, her mother's silver hairpin heavy in her pocket, the trap closing tighter. She'd married Cole to escape one threat. Now she was caught between two. And the only person who might help her Mrs. Chen with her offer of kindness felt 1,000 miles away. Elena looked up at the mansion, saw a figure in one of the upper windows. Cole, watching her. She didn't know if he'd seen her with Voss, didn't know what he suspected. But as their eyes met across the distance, Eleanor realized something. She wasn't the only one with secrets. Cole was hiding something too. Something big enough that Voss wanted it. Big enough to destroy everything. And Elena was going to have to choose. Betray Cole to save herself, or trust the man who'd married her for money and might destroy her anyway. The figure in the window turned away. Elena was alone again. She pulled out her mother's hairpin, stared at the tiny silver bird. You can always fly away, but not anymore. Now she had to fight. Elena didn't go to dinner. She stayed in her room, staring at the ceiling, trying to think. Voss wanted her to spy on Cole, to learn his secrets, to betray him. If she refused, Voss would expose her. She'd hang for a murder she didn't commit. If she agreed, she'd become exactly what everyone already thought she was: a liar, a schemer, someone who couldn't be trusted. And Cole was a stranger, a man who'd bought a wife like he'd buy cattle. Why should she protect him? But the look in his eyes when Margaret mentioned his first fiancée, the woman who'd left him, that hadn't been stone. That had been pain. Real pain. A knock on the door. Mrs. Bennet. Mrs. Brennan's voice, sharp as glass. Mr. Bennet expects you at dinner. I'm not hungry, Elena called back. He doesn't care. Come down. Now. Elena's jaw clenched. She wanted to scream, to throw something. Instead, she stood, smoothed her dress, pinned her hair back with her mother's silver hairpin, walked downstairs like she was walking to her execution. The dining room gleamed with candles. The long table was set for Tukul at the head, an empty chair beside him. He didn't look up when Elena entered. She sat. A servant brought soup, bread, wine. They ate in silence. The clock ticked. Forks scraped plates. The silence pressed down like a weight. Finally, Cole spoke. "Voss tells me you two are old acquaintances." Elena's spoon froze halfway to her mouth. "He's mistaken," she said carefully. "Is he?" Cole set down his fork, looked at her directly. "Because he seemed very certain, said you knew each other in Boston." Her heart hammered. "I've never been to Boston." "Then why did you turn white as a sheet when he walked into the kitchen today? Why did you follow him into the garden? Why did you look like you'd seen a ghost?" "Because I had," Elena wanted to say. "Because he's the man who destroyed my life." But she couldn't say that. "He makes me uncomfortable," Elena said. "That's all? Why?" "Because he looks at me like I'm something he owns." Cole's jaw tightened. "He's my attorney. He'll be here often. If you have a problem with him, tell me now." This was her chance. She could tell Cole the truth. Tell him about the murder charge, about Voss's blackmail, about everything. But what would Cole do? He'd married her for an inheritance. He didn't care about her. If she became a liability, if her past threatened his money, he'd cut her loose in a heartbeat. She'd be alone. "I don't have a problem," Elena lied. "I just need time to adjust. This is all very new." Cole studied her. His dark eyes saw too much. "You're lying," he said quietly. Elena's breath caught. "Everyone lies, Mr. Bennett. You, me, Voss. The difference is what we're lying about. It's Cole, we're married. Use my name. Are we married?" Elena leaned forward. "Or did we just sign a contract? Because it feels like a contract. Feels like I'm an employee you're barely tolerating." Something flickered in Cole's eyes. "Anger? Guilt? What do you want from me?" he asked. "Flowers? Poetry? I told you what this was. You agreed. I know what I agreed to. But you're treating me like I'm contaminated. Like being near me will infect you." Elena's voice rose. "I worked in a saloon, Cole. I poured drinks, that's all. I'm not a criminal. I'm not diseased. I'm just poor. And you act like poverty is catching." Cole stood abruptly. His chair scraped back. "You don't know anything about me," he said coldly. "Don't pretend you do. Then tell me something, anything, because living in a stranger's house for a year is going to drive me insane." "We're not friends, Elena. We're not going to share secrets and braid each other's hair. This is business." Elena laughed bitterly. "Fine, then let's talk business. What exactly do you need the inheritance for? You already have all this." Cole's hands clenched. "That's none of your concern. I'm your wife, legally. Everything about you is my concern now. In name only. Then what was the point?" Elena stood too, faced him across the table. "Why not just lie to the judge? Say you were married? Why go through all this if you're going to treat me like garbage? Because I'm not my grandfather." Cole's voice cracked like thunder. "Because he built this place through lies and cruelty and blood, and I'm trying to do something different, and I need that money to fix what he broke." Silence. Cole's chest heaved. His face was flushed. He'd revealed something real. "What did he break?" Elena asked softly. Cole closed his eyes. "Everything." He walked out. Left Elena standing alone in the dining room, soup getting cold, candles burning down. Margaret appeared from the kitchen, started clearing plates. "Don't take it personal, dear," she said quietly. "Cole's grandfather was a hard man, did terrible things. Cole's been trying to make amends since the old man died, but it's eating him alive." "What kind of terrible things?" Elena asked. Margaret glanced at the door, lowered her voice. "The ranch wasn't always this big. 30 years ago, it was just a few hundred acres. Cole's grandfather wanted more, so he bought up all the land around here, forced people to sell. If they refused, she trailed off." "What?" Elena pressed. Fires, accidents, cattle poisoned, families driven out. Margaret's face was grim. There was a Mexican family, the Morales family actually. Same last name as you. They had a beautiful piece of land by the river. Wouldn't sell. One night, their barn burned down. Their youngest son died in the fire. After that, they sold, left town. Elena's blood turned cold. Morales. She'd chosen that name randomly when she fled Boston. Just picked it from a gravestone in a cemetery. Pure chance. But now, when did this happen? Elena asked. 25 years ago, before Cole was born, but he knows about it. Knows about all of it. His grandfather kept records, ledgers, proof of everything he did. Margaret collected the soup bowls. Cole's been trying to find those families, make restitution, return land, pay damages, but most of them are gone, scattered, dead. And the inheritance? Elena asked. Why does he need it for that? Because all the ranch's money is tied up. Land, cattle, equipment. The old man made sure of it. The only liquid cash is the inheritance, $200,000 in a Denver bank. Cole needs that money to pay back what his grandfather stole. $200,000. Elena's $10,000 suddenly felt very small. Does Voss know about this? She asked. Margaret's face hardened. Voss knows everything. He was the old man's attorney too, helped with all the dirty dealings. That's why Cole kept him on, because Voss has the records, the proof, and if Cole tries to cut him loose, Voss could expose everything. Ruin the Bennett name, destroy the ranch. So Voss had leverage over Cole too. He was bleeding both of them. Elena's mind raced. This changed everything. Voss didn't just want information, he wanted control. Wanted to use Elena to manipulate Cole, to keep him trapped, to keep bleeding money from the ranch forever. And Elena was the knife in Voss's hand. I need to tell you something, Elena said suddenly. Margaret looked up. What? Mrs. Bennett. A scream from upstairs. Elena and Margaret ran. Found Mrs. Brennan standing in Elena's bedroom doorway, hand over her mouth, face white. Elena pushed past her. Her room was destroyed. The wardrobe doors hung open. Blankets torn out. Clothes scattered. The money, all $10,000, was gone. Who did this? Elena demanded. I don't know, Mrs. Brennan stammered. I came to turn down your bed and found it like this. Cole appeared in the hallway, took in the scene. Search the house, he ordered. Every room, every servant, find that money. No, Elena said. Cole frowned. What? Don't search. It won't be here. How do you know? Because Voss did this, Elena wanted to say. Because he's showing me he can take everything from me whenever he wants. But she couldn't say that either. I just know, Elena said. The thief is long gone. Cole stared at her. You're lying again. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. Elena walked to her destroyed room, started gathering her scattered clothes. Elena, please leave. I need to be alone. Cole hesitated, then left. Margaret touched Elena's shoulder. I'll help you clean up. No, thank you. I need to think. Margaret left too. Elena closed the door, locked it. Then she sat on the floor among her ruined belongings and finally let herself shake. Voss had made his point. He could get to her anytime, anywhere. He owned this house as much as Cole did. She had no power, no safety, no escape. The silver hairpin had fallen out of her hair during the chaos. Elena picked it up, studied the tiny bird. You can always fly away. But what if you couldn't? What if your wings were clipped and your cage was locked and flying meant dying? What then? A soft knock on the door. Elena froze. Who is it? It's me, Margaret. I brought tea and something else. Elena opened the door. Margaret held a tray with tea and cookies, but her face was serious. Close the door, she whispered. Elena did. Margaret set down the tray, pulled something from her apron pocket. A small leather journal. This belonged to Cole's grandfather, Margaret said quietly. One of his ledgers, the ones with all the records. Voss thinks he has them all, but the old man hid this one. I found it when we were cleaning out his study after he died. Why are you giving it to me? Elena asked. Because I saw Voss leaving your room an hour ago, before dinner. He was smiling. Margaret's eyes were fierce. That man is poison. He's controlled this family for too long. Maybe you can use this. Maybe you can't. But you deserve to know the truth about the man who's threatening you. She knew. Somehow, Margaret knew. How did you? I told you. I see everything in this house. And I know what it looks like when someone's being hunted. Margaret pressed the journal into Elena's hands. Read it. Then decide what kind of person you want to be. She left. Elena opened the journal. The first page was dated 1848, 25 years ago. The handwriting was neat, cold, precise. Acquired Morales property. 340 acres along the river. Family refused to sell. Applied pressure as discussed with Voss. Fire was regrettable but effective. Family sold for $200. Land worth $5,000. Elena's hands shook. She flipped through more pages. More families. More pressure. More fires and accidents and cruelties. And on every page, the same notation, discussed with Voss. Voss had helped with everything. Had been there from the beginning. Had built this empire of theft and blood alongside Cole's grandfather. Near the end of the journal, Elena found an entry that made her stop breathing. Voss expressed interest in expanding operations to Denver and Boston. Suggested we establish connections with similar-minded businessmen in major cities. I provided letters of introduction. He will manage Eastern operations while I focus on the ranch. Voss had gone to Boston. That's where he'd been when Elena worked for Mr. Hartwell. That's where he'd killed her employer and framed her for it. This wasn't a coincidence. Voss had been building a network of corruption for decades. And Elena had accidentally stumbled into his Boston operation 3 years ago. He'd been looking for her ever since. Not for revenge, for silence. Because if Elena ever told anyone what she'd seen in Boston, the meetings, the money, the men who came to Mr. Hartwell's office late at night, she could expose Voss's entire operation. She wasn't just a runaway murder suspect. She was a witness. And Voss needed her controlled or dead. If this twist just shocked you, smash that like button and comment your theory about what happens next. And share this with your friends who love a good mystery. Elena's door burst open. She shoved the journal under her pillow. Cole stood there. His face was thunderous. We need to talk, now. I told you I wanted to be alone. Voss is gone, disappeared, left the ranch an hour ago without a word. Cole stepped into the room. Right after your money was stolen. Right after he was seen entering your room. Elena's heart stopped. Margaret told you, she whispered. Margaret tells me everything. She's the only person in this house I trust. Cole closed the door behind him. I'm only going to ask this once. What does Voss have on you? Elena could lie. Should lie. But she was so tired of lying. And the look in Cole's eyes, anger, yes, but also something that might have been concern, made her want to tell the truth for once. He says I killed a man in Boston, Elena said quietly. 3 years ago. He says there's a warrant for my arrest. He says if I don't spy on you and tell him your secrets, he'll turn me in. Cole's jaw tightened. Did you kill someone? No, but Voss did, and he framed me for it. Why? Because I saw things I wasn't supposed to see. Heard things. Your grandfather's journal mentions Voss expanding to Boston. I think I stumbled into his operation there. I think I'm a witness to things that could destroy him. Cole was quiet for a long moment. Then he said, Show me the journal. Elena hesitated. How did you know? Margaret gives me updates on everything. She told me she gave you something. I assume it's one of my grandfather's records. His voice was steady. Show me. Elena pulled the journal from under her pillow, handed it to him. Cole read in silence. His face grew darker with every page. Finally, he closed it. I knew most of this, he said quietly. But not all, not the Boston connection. What are you going to do? Elena asked. What I should have done months ago. Cut Voss loose. Expose him. Let him burn. He'll expose me too. I'll hang. Not if we expose him first. Not if we prove he's the real killer. Cole met her eyes. But I need to know everything. The truth. All of it. No more lies. This was it. The moment of choice. Trust this man or stay in Voss's cage forever. Elena took a breath. My real name is Catherine Hartwell, she said. I worked for a merchant in Boston, a man named Jonathan Hartwell. No relation, it was coincidence. He dealt in imports, silk, tea, spices. But some of his customers, they weren't normal merchants. What were they? I don't know exactly. But they'd come late at night, talk in his office with door closed. I'd bring them tea. Sometimes I'd hear things, names, amounts, shipments. Elena's hands twisted together. One night, I heard them arguing. Mr. Hartwell was angry, said he wanted out, said the operation was too dangerous. One of the men I saw him clearly said that wasn't an option. What did the man look like? Thin mustache, cold smile. Voss, Cole said grimly. Elena nodded. 2 days later, Mr. Hartwell was dead, stabbed in his office. I found him when I came to work in the morning. There was a knife on the floor, my knife, from the kitchen. Voss was there when the police arrived. He'd called them. He told them I'd been stealing from Mr. Hartwell, said we'd argued, said I must have snapped. They believed him. He had a witness, another woman who worked in the house. She said she'd heard me threatening Mr. Hartwell the day before. Elena's voice cracked. It was a lie. Voss had paid her to lie, but I couldn't prove it, so I ran. Where did you go? Philadelphia first, then St. Louis, then here, changed my name, changed everything, thought I was safe. You weren't running from murder, Cole said slowly. You were running from Voss, because you saw him that night. You could identify him. You could connect him to Hartwell's death and whatever operation they were running. Yes. Cole stood. Paced. This is bigger than I thought. Voss isn't just a corrupt attorney. He's part of something larger. And my grandfather was part of it too. He stopped at the window, looked out at the dark ranch. I need proof, he said. Solid proof that Voss killed Hartwell. Proof that he framed you. Otherwise it's just your word against his, and he'll destroy us both. How do we get proof? I don't know yet, but we will. Cole turned back to her. I'm going to protect you, Elena. You're my wife, fake or not, that means something. Voss won't touch you. The words hit Elena like a physical blow. No one had protected her in 3 years. No one had stood between her and the world. Why? She whispered. Why help me? I'm just a contract. Just a warm body you needed for the inheritance. Cole was quiet for a long moment. Because I know what it's like to be betrayed by someone you trusted, he said finally. And I know what it's like when no one believes you. His first fiancée. The woman who'd left him at the altar. What happened to her? Elena asked softly. Your first fiancée? Cole's face shuttered. That's not relevant. I told you my secrets. You know mine. This isn't the same. It is. We're both running from something, both hiding. The difference is I told you the truth. Cole's hands clenched. For a moment, Elena thought he'd walk out. Then he said, her name was Isabel. We were engaged for a year. 3 days before the wedding, she came to me, told me she couldn't marry me, wouldn't say why, just left. Married another man 6 months later. Did you love her? Yes. The word was raw. I would have done anything for her. And she threw it away like garbage. There has to be a reason. The reason doesn't matter. She made her choice. I made mine. I decided never to trust anyone that completely again. Cole met Elena's eyes. That's why this marriage is a contract. Why I keep everyone at arm's length. Why I don't do love or sentiment or any of that nonsense. It's safer. It's lonely, Elena said. Lonely is better than betrayed. They stared at each other across the ruined room. Two people who'd been broken. Who'd learned to survive by not trusting. Who were now stuck together, whether they liked it or not. What do we do now? Elena asked. We play Voss's game. You tell him you'll spy on me. Feed him small pieces of information, things that don't matter. Keep him thinking he's winning. Meanwhile, I'll dig into his background. Find the proof we need to bury him. And if he figures out we're working together, He won't. We'll keep pretending we barely tolerate each other. Won't be hard, we barely know each other anyway. Cole moved to the door, stopped. But Elena, from now on, no more lies between us. We're a team, even if we're a team of two people who don't particularly like each other. I don't dislike you, Elena said quietly. Cole looked surprised. You should. I bought you like property. You gave me an option I didn't have. That's more than most people do. Something shifted in Cole's expression, softened. Get some sleep, he said. Tomorrow, we start fighting back. He left. Elena sat alone in her destroyed room, holding the journal, thinking about the man who just promised to protect her. The man who'd been betrayed by someone he loved. The man who was now her only ally in a house full of enemies. She pulled out her mother's silver hairpin. The tiny bird caught the lamplight. Maybe she couldn't fly away, but maybe she could fight instead. 3 days later, Elena met Mrs. Chen at the laundry. Cole had told her to act normal, to go into town, to be seen, to keep Voss thinking everything was fine. But Elena had another reason for coming. She needed help. Real help. Mrs. Chen was folding sheets when Elena walked in. The small room smelled like soap and starch and hard work. Mrs. Bennet, Mrs. Chen said, no surprise in her voice, like she'd been expecting this. Come in. Close the door. Elena did. I need your help, she said. I know. Sit. They sat on a wooden bench in the back of the laundry. Steam from the washing tubs made the air thick. Elena told her everything. The murder charge. Voss. Cole. The journal. The plan to gather proof. Mrs. Chen listened without interrupting. When Elena finished, Mrs. Chen said, You trust Cole? I don't know. But I have no choice. We always have choices. The question is, which choice lets you live with yourself after? Elena thought about that. About lying to Cole. About betraying him to save herself. About becoming the person Voss thought she was. I want to fight, Elena said. I'm tired of running. Mrs. Chen smiled, sad and proud at once. Good. Then I'll help. Why? I told you. I remember kindness. And I see something in you, same thing I saw in myself 8 years ago. The desire to stand somewhere. To stop being pushed. She stood, went to a cabinet in the corner, pulled out a small wooden box. Inside were letters, dozens of them, old, yellowed, tied with string. My husband was a railroad worker, Mrs. Chen said, but he was also a bookkeeper. He kept records. Names, payments, accidents that weren't really accidents. He knew the railroad companies were corrupt, knew they were killing workers and covering it up. She handed Elena one of the letters. It was addressed to Richard Voss. Elena's hands shook. Voss worked for the railroad 20 years ago. Before he became a lawyer, he was a foreman. Ordered my husband into that tunnel the day it collapsed. Knew it was unstable. Knew it would kill someone. Sent my husband anyway. Mrs. Chen's voice was steel. I've kept these letters for 8 years, waiting for the right moment to use them. This is proof, Elena breathed. Proof that Voss has been doing this for decades. Covering up crimes. Working for corrupt men. It's not proof of your murder, but it's a pattern. It shows what kind of man he is. And sometimes that's enough to make people start asking questions. Elena looked up. You'd give this to me? Risk yourself? I'm old. I'm Chinese. I'm already at risk every day in this town. Mrs. Chen's jaw set. But you're young. You have a chance to stop running. To have a real life. If these letters help you do that, they're yours. Elena's throat tightened. Thank you. Don't thank me yet. Thank me when you've won. They heard voices outside, men's voices. Mrs. Chen moved quickly to the window, looked out. Her face went pale. Immigration, she whispered, looking for unauthorized workers. They come through town every few months. You're legal, aren't you? Elena asked. I am. But my daughter isn't. Elena froze. Your daughter? She's upstairs. Hiding. She came from China last year. No papers. If they find her, Mrs. Chen's hands shook. They'll send her back. Or worse. The voices got louder. Closer. Elena moved to the door, looked out. 3 men in official uniforms, checking buildings, asking questions. They'd be here in minutes. I'll distract them, Elena said. You hide your daughter better. You don't have to, you're helping me. I help you. That's what friends do. Mrs. Chen's eyes filled with tears. Go, quickly. Elena walked outside just as the immigration officers reached the laundry. Good afternoon, gentlemen, she said loudly, sweetly. Can I help you? They looked her up and down, saw her nice dress, her clean face, her new wedding ring. We're conducting searches, ma'am. Looking for illegal workers. How exciting. Elena smiled, stepped into their path. I'm Mrs. Cole Bennett. Perhaps you know my husband? He owns the largest ranch in the county. We're always looking for good workers if you need recommendations. She talked and talked, asked questions, complained about the heat, mentioned how important Cole was, how many powerful friends he had. The officers grew uncomfortable, annoyed. We need to search the laundry, ma'am. Of course. But first, you simply must tell me, do you know Sheriff Morrison? Cole and I are having dinner with him next week. I'd love to mention I met his colleagues. He speaks so highly of the immigration service. It was a bluff. Elena had never met the sheriff, didn't know if Cole even knew him, but the officers exchanged glances. Important wife, powerful husband, dinner with the sheriff. Too much risk. That won't be necessary, ma'am, one of them said. We'll check the other buildings. They left. Elena watched them go, waited until they were out of sight, then went back inside. Mrs. Chen stood in the doorway to the upstairs. A young woman, maybe 19, beautiful, terrified, peeked out from behind her. This is my daughter, May, Mrs. Chen said softly. May, this is Mrs. Bennett. She just saved your life. May bowed deeply. Thank you, she whispered. Thank you so much. Elena's chest ached. This girl was her age, running like Elena had run, hiding like Elena had hidden. You're welcome, Elena said. And call me Elena, not Mrs. Bennett. That name doesn't feel real yet. Mrs. Chen pulled Elena into a tight hug. You're a good person, she whispered. Don't let this world make you forget that. Elena hugged her back, let herself feel it. The warmth, the connection, the thing she'd been missing for 3 years. When she pulled away, Mrs. Chen handed her the box of letters. Take them. Use them. Burn Voss to the ground. Elena took the box. I will. I promise. She left the laundry with the letters hidden in her bag, a plan forming in her mind, and something that felt almost like hope in her chest. That night, Elena showed Cole the letters. They sat in his study, the room that smelled like cigars and leather and old money, and read through 20 years of corruption. This is incredible, Cole breathed. This connects Voss to multiple crimes across multiple states. It proves he's been covering up deaths, bribing officials, falsifying records. It's still not proof he killed Hartwell, Elena said. But it's a start. It's more than a start, it's a foundation. Cole looked up. We take this to a federal marshal, someone outside Voss's reach. Someone who can investigate properly. Will they believe us? They'll believe the letters. They're signed. Dated. Names of witnesses included. Cole's eyes were bright, alive. We can do this, Elena. We can actually bury him. Elena felt something strange in her chest, something light, something that might have been joy. When do we move? She asked. But carefully. Voss can't know we're coming for him. Cole hesitated. There's something else, something I need to tell you. Elena tensed. What? Isabel, my first fiancée, I found out why she left me. The room went very quiet. She was pregnant, Cole said softly. Not with my child. We'd decided to wait until marriage. But she'd been with someone else. Got pregnant. Couldn't tell me. Couldn't tell anyone. So she ran. Married the other man quickly, quietly. How did you find out? Elena asked. She wrote me a letter. Gave it to Margaret to deliver after she left. But Margaret hid it. Thought I'd be better off not knowing. Thought the truth would hurt more than the mystery. Cole's voice was rough. She finally gave it to me last week. After I married you. Said she couldn't keep the secret anymore. What did the letter say? That she loved me. That she was sorry. that the other man, his name was Robert, had forced himself on her at a party. That she was ashamed, terrified, didn't know what to do. That leaving was the only option she could see. Elena's heart broke. That's not betrayal. That's survival. I know that now. But for 10 years, I thought she'd chosen someone else over me. Thought I wasn't good enough. Wasn't worth staying for. Cole looked at Elena. I was so angry, so bitter. I shut everyone out, and it was all based on a lie. A misunderstanding. Have you talked to her? She's dead. Died in childbirth 2 years ago. The baby too. His voice cracked. I can never tell her I understand now. Never apologize for not being someone she could trust with the truth. She died thinking I hated her. Elena moved without thinking, sat beside him, took his hand. It was cold, shaking. She knew you loved her, Elena said quietly. That's why she wrote the letter. That's why she was sorry. She knew. Cole's eyes were wet. How do you know? Because I've been her. Running, scared, carrying a secret that feels too heavy to share. She didn't leave because she didn't love you. She left because she loved you too much to burden you with her shame. A tear slid down Cole's face. Elena had never seen him cry, never seen him anything but cold and controlled. She reached up, wiped the tear away. Their eyes met. Something shifted, something huge and terrifying and real. Cole leaned in. Elena should have pulled back, should have reminded him this was fake. This was business. But she didn't. Their lips met, soft, hesitant, then harder. Elena's hands tangled in his hair. Cole pulled her closer. The kiss was desperate, hungry, like two drowning people finding air. When they finally broke apart, both breathing hard, Cole whispered, "This wasn't supposed to happen." "I know," Elena said. "We're supposed to hate each other." "I know. This complicates everything." "I know." Cole laughed, raw and real. "Then why does it feel so right?" Elena didn't have an answer. Because it did feel right. Against all logic. Against all reason. This man who'd bought her like property was becoming the only person she trusted. The only person who saw her. Really saw her. "What do we do now?" she asked. Cole pulled her close. Rested his forehead against hers. "We fight Voss," he said. "We clear your name, we fix what my grandfather broke. And then we figure out what this is. This thing between us, whatever it's becoming. What if it doesn't work?" Elena whispered. "What if we fail? Then we fail together." Cole kissed her again, soft, sweet. "I'm done being alone, Elena. Done hiding. You showed me that. You showed me it's possible to trust again." Elena's eyes filled with tears. Happy tears. Terrified tears. "I'm scared," she admitted. "Me too, but I'm not running anymore." "Neither am I." They sat together in the study, holding each other, while candles burned down and the night grew dark outside. Two broken people. Two liars. Two runners, who'd finally stopped running. The next morning, they rode to the federal marshal's office in the next county. Brought the letters. Brought the journal. Brought Elena's testimony. The marshal, a gray-haired man with hard eyes and an honest face, listened to everything. "This is serious," he said. "If what you're saying is true, Voss has been operating a criminal network for decades. We'll investigate, thoroughly." "How long will it take?" Cole asked. "Weeks, maybe months. But if the evidence holds up, Voss will hang. I promise you that." Elena felt the weight lift. Just a little. Not gone, but lighter. "What do we do in the meantime?" she asked. "Stay safe. Stay quiet. Don't let Voss know you're onto him." The marshal met her eyes. "And Mrs. Bennett, if what you've told me about the Boston murder is true, I'll look into that too. If Voss framed you, we'll prove it. You have my word." They rode back to the ranch in silence. The August heat was brutal. Dust coated everything. But Elena didn't care. For the first time in 3 years, she felt something that might have been hope. When they reached the mansion, Voss was waiting on the porch. Elena's blood froze. "Good afternoon," Voss said pleasantly. "Lovely day for a ride. Where did you two go?" "None of your business," Cole said coldly. Oh, but it is my business. I'm your attorney. Your wife's activities are my concern. Voss's smile was poison, especially when she visits federal marshals and makes wild accusations. No, no, no. How did you? Elena started. I have friends everywhere, Catherine. Did you really think you could move against me without me knowing? Voss descended the porch steps, slowly, like a cat cornering a mouse. The marshal you spoke to? He works for me. Has for years. He's already destroyed the letters you gave him. Burned them. They don't exist anymore. Elena couldn't breathe. Cole stepped in front of her. You're lying. Am I? Call him. Ask him if he still has the evidence. Voss pulled out his pocket watch. Checked it. Oh wait, you can't. He's on a train to Denver right now. Taking a very generous early retirement. Courtesy of me. You can't buy everyone, Cole said. Can't I? I've been doing it for 30 years. Voss's eyes gleamed. You think you're the first people to try to stop me? I've crushed better men than you, Cole. Smarter men, richer men. You're nothing. Just a boy playing at justice because you feel guilty about daddy's sins. Cole's fists clenched. This isn't over. Oh! It's very over. Here's what's going to happen. Catherine is going to keep spying on you. You're going to stop digging into my business. And both of you are going to smile and pretend to be the happy couple. Otherwise, Voss pulled out the wanted poster, the one with Elena's face. Otherwise, I go to the real sheriff, not the corrupt marshal, the actual, honest Sheriff Morrison who just got elected. He'll arrest Catherine. She'll hang. Your marriage will be annulled. You'll lose the inheritance. Everything you fought for will crumble. There has to be proof, Elena said desperately. Someone who knows you killed Hartwell. Everyone who knew is dead, my dear. I've spent 3 years making sure of that. You're the last loose end. And soon, you won't be loose anymore. You'll be exactly where I want you. Under my control. Forever. He walked to his horse, mounted, looked down at them. Oh, and Cole, your aunt's party is tomorrow night. Make sure Catherine looks presentable. We need to keep up appearances. He rode away. Elena's legs gave out. She sat hard on the porch steps. They'd lost. They'd had proof and they'd lost. Cole sat beside her, put his arm around her. We'll find another way, he said. There is no other way. He's won. He's always won. Elena's voice was hollow. I should leave, disappear tonight, before he destroys you too. Cole turned her to face him. We're in this together. Remember? We fight together. We lose together. We win together. But we're not winning, not yet. But we will. Cole's jaw set. I have one more card to play. One person Voss doesn't control. Who? Isabel's husband, Robert. He's a lawyer in Denver. And he hates Voss, has for years. Voss represented the man who attacked Isabel. Got him off with no charges. Robert's wanted revenge ever since. Hope flickered. Tiny. Fragile. Will he help us? Elena asked. He will if I tell him the truth. If I admit I finally understand what Isabel went through. If I ask him to help save someone else from the same monster. Elena looked at Cole. At this man who'd been so cold, so distant, so broken, who was now warm, close, healing, who was willing to open old wounds to save her. I love you, she said. The words fell out, unplanned, unstoppable. Cole's eyes widened. What? I love you. I don't know when it happened. Maybe when you promised to protect me. Maybe when you cried over Isabel. Maybe when you kissed me. But it happened, and I needed you to know. Because if Voss wins, if I hang, I don't want to die without telling you. Cole kissed her. Hard. Desperate. When they broke apart, he said, I love you too, and you're not going to die. I'm not going to let that happen. Promise? I promise. They held each other on the porch while the sun set and the world turned dark. And somewhere in the distance, a bird called out, flying. Elena touched the silver hairpin in her hair. You can always fly. But she didn't want to fly anymore. She wanted to stand, fight, win, with Cole beside her. And tomorrow, at the party, they'd start building their plan to bring Voss down. Because this story wasn't over. Not yet. Not while they still had breath and hope and each other. The contract marriage had become something real. And real love, the kind built on truth and trust and shared scars, was stronger than any lie Voss could tell. They'd prove it. Or die trying. The end. If this story moved you, hit that like button right now. Drop a comment telling me which moment made your heart race. And share this with someone who needs to hear a story about finding love in the middle of chaos. Because sometimes the best love stories start with a lie and end with the truth. Want more stories like this? Follow for more audio first tales that will keep you hooked from the first word to the last.